triangle of vector addition. According to this law, if a particle is simultaneously acted upon by two vectors represented in magnitude and direction by two adjacent sides of a triangle taken in order, then the resultant is given by the third side of a triangle taken in opposite direction. Now let us try to understand the meaning of this triangle of vector addition using an example. Here I have a map. In this map I have three places here, okay, Egypt, Yemen and Iran. Now let us assume that I am moving from this Egypt to Yemen, and after that I have moved from this Yemen to Iran. So when I moved from Egypt to Yemen, that displacement can be represented by the vector A. Okay, displacement from Egypt to Yemen can be represented by the displacement vector A. Now again I have moved from Yemen to Iran, that displacement can be represented by vector B. These two vectors represent two sides of a triangle. Okay, you can observe here vector A and vector B. First displacement and second displacement I have represented using two sides of a triangle. Vector A represents the first displacement and vector B represents the second displacement. First displacement is from Egypt to Yemen, that is represented by vector A here. Second displacement from this Yemen to Iran, that represented by vector B, taken in order. Taken in order means this initial point of second vector should start from the final point of the first vector. Now if you want to calculate the displacement, now net displacement from Egypt to Yemen, Egypt to Yemen ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯೆಮೆನಿಂದ ಇರಾನ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Now if you want to calculate the net displacement from this Egypt to Iran, so that can be given by the triangle of vector addition. That is the resultant of these two vectors, vector A and vector B, will be given by the third side of the triangle taken in opposite direction. That net displacement will be given by the third side of the triangle, which is C. Third side of the triangle C taken in opposite direction. ಇವೆರಡು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಸೇಮ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಟೇಕನ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎನ ನಾನು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿನ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಫೈನಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ. ಇವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ನೆಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಟು ಇರಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ net displacement will be given by the third side of this triangle. That third side of this triangle taken in opposite direction. This should not forget opposite direction. This third side which acts in opposite direction will give the net displacement of the given body from Egypt to Iran. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಏನು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿಂದ ಯೆಮೆನ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಇಂದ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹಾಗೆ ಯೆಮೆನಿಂದ ಇರಾನ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಇಂದ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎರಡು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಆ ಎರಡು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಎರಡು ಟೂ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಝೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟಿಂದ ಇರಾನ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅಸ್ ದಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಟು ಇರಾನ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಎನಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. Okay, this triangle of vector addition you can apply it for as many as vector quantities you can. Okay, that means that ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಫೋರ್ಸು ಕೂಡ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಡಿಷನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ನಾವು ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಡಿಷನ್. This law says if a particle is acted upon by two vectors represented in both magnitude and direction by the two sides of a parallelogram drawn from a point, then the resultant is represented by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the same point. Okay, so these are the two forces. Okay, two vectors represented in both magnitude and direction, vector A and vector B, two sides of the ಪ್ಯಾರಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ದಿಸ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿನ. ಓಕೆ, ನೌ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವುಡನ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ totally vector A is pulling upward and vector B also is pulling upward. Force A and force B ಎರಡು ಪುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದವು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಟೋಟಲ್ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವುಡನ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಡಯಾಗೋನಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ನ ನಾನು ಪ್ಯಾರಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ 2 ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ 2 ಫೋರ್ಸು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಫೋರ್ಸು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಪುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ, ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ವುಡನ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್? ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಪುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ, ಬಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಪುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ, ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್. ನಾವು ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಈ ವುಡನ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ಯಾರಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಲಾನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ, ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅ 2 sides of a parallelogram law, 2 sides of a parallelogram which are starting from the same point. ನನಗೆ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗೋನಲ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಂದ, ಅದೇ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂದ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಡಯಾಗೋನಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅಸ್ ದಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ 2 forces A and B. That is what the meaning of the parallelogram law of vector addition. Okay, so that is nothing but vector C is equal to vector A plus vector B. Similarly, polygon law of vector addition. Polygon law of vector addition states that if a number of vectors can be represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of a polygon taken in the same order, then the resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the closing side of polygon taken in the opposite order. Okay, let us understand the statement using an example here. Okay, here I have one wheel here, number of forces are acting on this wheel and totally 4 forces are acting here. Let us assume vector A, vector B, C and D. All the 4 forces I have represented using the 4 vectors. So if I want to calculate what is the net force which is acting on this wheel, so in this case I will use the polygon law of vector addition because there are more number of forces here. ಅವಾಗ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, let us draw first vector which is vector A using the pen and the protractor as well as scale and all. Draw vector A and similarly draw vector B. Okay, and vector B should start from the final point of the vector A. You should remember here in the statements also you can see here. Okay, polygon law of vector addition states that if a number of vectors can be represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of a polygon law taken in the same order. Taken in the same order, that means that the second vector should start from the final point of the first vector. So that's why I have started the vector B, second vector, from the final point of the vector A here. Similarly, draw the vector C from the final point of the vector B. Similarly, draw vector D from the final point of the vector C. And now the resultant of all vector A, vector B and vector C and vector D, all these 4 vectors can be given by the closing side of the polygon taken in the opposite direction. ಈ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ದೆನ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅಸ್ ದಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ wheel. Now let us try to understand the commutative property of a vector addition. Here I have 2 triangles here. Okay, in the first triangle I have vector A and vector B. Both are represented as 2 sides of a triangle taken in order. Now the resultant of vector A and vector B can be given by the vector C, which is the third side of a triangle taken in opposite order. So vector C is equal to, I can write it as vector C is equal to vector A plus vector B. Now go to second image. Here vector B is added to vector A here. Vector B which is added to vector A. In first case vector A is added to vector B. Here vector B is added to vector A. Both are represented as 2 sides of a triangle taken in order. Now resultant of vector B and vector A is nothing but the vector C, which is third side of a triangle taken in opposite direction. In both the cases the vector c is constant here, vector c is same here. That means that vector c is equal to vector a plus vector b, which is equal to vector b plus vector a. ಈ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಗೆ ಬಿ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎನ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿಗೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿನ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಗೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಕಮ್ಯುಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. ಸೊ ಕಮ್ಯುಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ vector a plus vector b is equal to vector b plus vector a. Associative property. To understand this property, I have considered two images here. In the first image, if you want to calculate vector d here, and that vector d can be calculated using vector a plus b plus vector c. This vector a plus b represents the resultant of vector a and vector b. Clear? So the resultant vector d in this triangle is, so addition of vector a plus b plus vector c. Similarly, consider second image, and this d can also be calculated using the addition of vector a plus vector b plus c. Okay, in the first case I have calculated vector d using addition of vector a plus b plus c. In the second case I have calculated the vector d, same vector d, using vector a plus vector b plus c. So that means that d can be calculated in any number of possible way of vector addition. So that is why it satisfies this addition of vector satisfies the or obeys the associative law. Now subtraction of vectors. Subtraction of vector can be treated as the subtraction of vector b from vector a can be defined as the addition of vector minus b to vector a. Subtraction ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ, usually we know the triangle of vector addition. The resultant of vector a and vector b is vector a plus b. Okay, so subtraction of vector means nothing but it is also addition, but addition of minus b instead of addition of plus b vector b. Here I will take it as addition of minus b. So that gives the subtraction of vectors, which means that vector a minus vector b is equal to, if you want to subtract vector a, so subtract vector b from vector a, so that means that it is the vector a plus of minus of vector b. So that gives the subtraction of vector b from vector a. Okay, this is the vector a, represents the side of a triangle, and this is the vector b minus b. Okay, in this direction, and resultant is opposite direction, vector a minus vector b. Now vector addition by analytical method. So till now we have seen the addition of vectors by geometrical method. So geometrical method of vector addition is not easy. It's easy, but it is not that practical. So it takes a lot of time all the time. That's why we will go for analytical method of vector addition. So to calculate the magnitude of a resultant using analytical method of vector addition. Okay, in this case I have considered a parallelogram here. Okay, here in this image or in this diagram, vector p and vector q, I have considered two vectors, both are making angle theta between them. Okay, representing two sides of a parallelogram, and we all know that this resultant is given by the diagonal of the parallelogram. Clear? So this is what the diagram we have considered. So in this triangle OCM, OC square equal to OM square plus CM square. Okay, OM square, OC square, this diagonal OC square is equal to OM square plus this CM square, which is equal to OM is nothing but OA plus AM, that we know that. And if you keep on simplifying, and you will get this OC square equal to OA square plus 2OA into AM plus AC square. Now in the triangle CAM, okay, triangle CAM, cos theta equal to AM by AC. Okay, this adjacent by hypotenuse. So which is AM equal to AC into cos theta. Here OC square is equal to, in this equation, OA square plus 2OA into AC. Wherever AM is there, just put it as AC cos theta plus AC square. Now finally if you keep on simplifying, you will get resultant vector R is equal to under root P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q. Here P represents the magnitude of vector P and Q represents the magnitude of vector Q, whereas theta represents the angle between vector P and vector Q. This is how we will calculate the magnitude of a resultant vector using analytical method. Analytical method means using mathematical formulas. Now similarly, calculation of direction of resultant using analytical method. Again I will consider same image here, same diagram here. In this case, if you want to calculate the angle, that means that angle of a vector or direction of a resultant vector, let us calculate in the triangle CAM, sin theta is CM by AC, opposite by hypotenuse, CM by AC, hypotenuse AC, which is CM equal to AC into sin theta. Similarly, cos theta equal to AC into cos theta. In the triangle OCM, tan alpha is equal to tan alpha is nothing but it is the angle made by resultant R with the vector P. Okay, tan alpha equal to CM by OM, and this OM already we know that. Okay, OM is nothing but OA plus AM, and tan alpha equal to, if we keep on simplifying, tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. In this expression, alpha is nothing but the angle made by the resultant with the horizontal vector P, and theta is nothing but the angle between both the P and Q vector. Clear? P represents the magnitude and Q represents the magnitude of vector Q, and P represents the magnitude of vector P. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಣದ ಗುರುತು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಬಾಣದ ಗುರುತು ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬೋತ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಾಣದ ಗುರುತು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಏರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ Q ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ Q. P is nothing but magnitude of vector P. Theta is nothing but angled between the vector P and vector Q. And alpha ಏನಂದರೆ angle between resultant as well as the vector P. So this is the how we will calculate the direction of a resultant using. Now we will see the different cases of finding the resultant vector. Okay, among that first one, case 1, when vectors are parallel, theta equal to 0. Theta is nothing but the angle between the vectors. When two vectors are parallel, then there is no angle, that means that theta equal to 0. So we know the formula for magnitude, which is R equal to resultant of magnitude, which is R equal to P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square. In this formula of finding the resultant R, if you put cos theta as theta as 0, then cos 0 becomes 1 here. And in this case, when both the vectors are parallel to each other, then the angle theta between them is equal to 0, and hence resultant magnitude is equal to P plus Q. And similarly, direction, expression for direction of resultant Q sin 0 divided by P plus Q cos 0, because theta is 0. Theta means angle between the vectors is 0 because both are parallel. That's why alpha is equal to 0. Alpha is equal to 0, that means that the angle between the resultant vector as well as the vector P is equal to 0. There is no angle, which means that 0 angle. 0 angle means both are parallel. Now case 2, when vectors are perpendicular to each other, when vector P and vector Q both are perpendicular, then angle between vector P and vector Q is 90 degree. Here theta becomes 90 here. So in this expression of magnitude of resultant, if you put theta equal to 90, then cos 90 becomes 0. Then resultant R is equal to under root P square plus Q square. Similarly, in the expression for direction, so alpha becomes tan inverse of Q by P. This is what the second case, which is when vectors are perpendicular to each other. So this is the expression you will get, and this is the expression you will get in order to find the direction and in order to find the magnitude of resultant. In case 3, when vectors are anti-parallel means the angle between vector P and Q is 180 degree. So in this case, So theta becomes 180. When theta becomes 180, then cos 180 becomes what? Minus 2pq here. And final expression is magnitude of resultant r is equal to p minus q. And in this case, while calculating the direction here, when you put theta is 180 degree, you will get two expression here. Okay, when if p is more than q, then alpha becomes 0. Clear? If p is less than q, then alpha becomes 1.